Hello everyone and welcome back to the Great Book of Grudges. My name is Nathan and today we're going to get our tinfoil hats on once again. So today there was a Warhammer preview for Age of Sigmar, loads of new stuff coming for the Age of Sigmar range, Warhammer Underworlds and Warhammer Quest Cursed City. But there was something rather interesting being shown right at the end, where they only showed us a little snippet. Let's take a look at it right now.
I was their first son, the Prince of Demons, Herald of Kings, cursed to crown my inferiors. My vengeance will come.
For those not too aware of what we've just seen, this is a confirmation that Be'lakor, the first demon prince in Warhammer Fantasy, and the only demon prince to be ever blessed undivided, is now getting a new model update. You may be asking why this is important. Well, it's simply because he's getting a new model. This is a model that really desperately needed an update after many years. And it's kind of reinforcing some rumors that Be'lakor might be the 9th legendary lord for Total War Warhammer 3. In Warhammer Fantasy, Be'lakor served mainly as a role of a servant, as when he fell out of favor with the Chaos Gods, he was forced to crown his lessers being whoever would become the Everchosen, and the last Everchosen in Warhammer Fantasy was that of Archaon. But you see, that's not all, as Be'lakor often tried to work on his own devices. There were many times in lore in Warhammer Fantasy where Be'lakor attempted to break free from the will of Chaos, often with the plan of becoming a Chaos God in his own right. This was expanded upon in a Albion campaign way back in the day. There has always been some speculation regarding Be'lakor, especially how he could work as a legendary lord in Total War Warhammer 3. But a new model such as this heavily hints upon it, as it is indeed the best way to cross-promote. If a new model is available for characters, Games Workshop tend to prefer those, especially if we look towards characters such as Archon the Black, which uses his End Times mini rather than that of his old Warhammer Fantasy one. We've obviously also seen the representation of the greater demons to follow that of their Age of Sigmar and Warhammer 40k variants instead of the old Warhammer Fantasy ones. I'd say that all this heavily hints that Be'lakor's new miniature will be used in Total War Warhammer, and this is completely awesome as we can just dive into the video and possibly see hints as to how his campaign will play. You see, as I explained before, in Warhammer Fantasy he was still self-serving, forced to work for the Chaos Gods, but trying to do his own thing through the side, hoping that the Chaos Gods themselves would not realize. Much of people's speculation was that Be'lakor could be added in as a Demons of Undivided route, and this could still indeed be true, where he's forced to work for the Chaos Gods, having missions from them and so on. However, he could also be having his own separate campaign, where as per the lore, he could be trying to break free from their will, so to speak. Very much like having two storylines overlapping each other. Bear in mind that the first campaign released for Total War Warhammer 3 will follow a narrative focus, as we did have a rather large narrative for the first campaign of Total War Warhammer 2. The only big problem is that the Eye of the Vortex campaign had the same storyline for all of the base game races. However, since Total War Warhammer 3 is the last of the trilogy, maybe they'd like to do something different for the base game races and factions, where they will have separate storylines but interlapping in certain ways. Something like this would be absolutely incredible. As far as we are aware, we are saving or exploiting the power of a dying god. And who better to exploit the power of a dying god than possibly Be'lakor himself? Maybe this is exactly what he needs to break free from the powers of the Chaos Gods and become a god in his own right. There have been different rumors floating around on the internet in regards to the storyline of Game 3, however I myself avoided them as it seemed a bit far-fetched. A lot of stuff was pointing towards different overlapping storylines, which didn't really seem possible before. Obviously this is all based on rampant speculation now, but Be'lakor's announcement seems to point towards that. Of course, I could be totally wrong here, however, something like this does make sense. It's about time that Games Workshop started trying to cross-promote with Creative Assembly as much as possible. They tried doing that with the old-school Warhammer Fantasy minis, which are still available in Age of Sigmar, but a large majority of those models are extremely dated, and we know that they've been doing some cross-promotion for the future, as there has been collaboration between both companies in regards to Kislev for Total War Warhammer 3, and also the recent announcement of Cathay too. But what do you guys think about this? Do you think that this is a cross-promotion effect, or do you think it's just pure speculation? If this is indeed a cross-promotion effect, it could be Games Workshop and Creative Assembly's way to also vastly improve the narrative of the third and final game. The Eye of the Vortex campaign was fine, don't get me wrong, but the main issue was once you played it once with one race, there was really no point to play it with the others, as it was the exact same storyline. If the story itself changes, then there is much more reason to play over it. Let's be honest, when is the last time you actually fired up an Eye of the Vortex campaign? After the Mortal Empires was released, there was really no reason to go back to it, so hopefully this vastly improves everything. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below, and let's start a bit of a discussion. But with that, my friends, we've come to the end of our video. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, might I suggest giving the video a like, or even subscribing to the channel, as it really does help us out. In the description section below are various links to different social media platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, and Discord. Also in the description section is an affiliate link with Element Games where you could buy loads of hobby-based products, not just Warhammer, for 10 to 25% off. Making a purchase using that link and also our special code, which is also in the description, supports the channel at no extra cost to you, which we think is rather cool. A big thank you to our patrons. Your support means the world to us. It's amazing that people want to help a small channel like us grow and get to a higher level of content. A big thank you to Gibraltar LUSC, Ryan Bertsche, Andrew Prince, and Okro for subscribing to us at our Fane level. You guys are super cool. And a big thank you to Edward Yule, VS Vasan, Aaron Whitman, and Shaggy for subscribing to us at our King level. Honestly, we can't thank you all enough. And lastly, a big thank you to all of you for liking, sharing, and commenting on these videos. Honestly, it's because of you guys that the channel's been growing at such a great pace lately, so we can't thank you all enough. But with that, my friends, thank you so much for watching once again, and we shall see you all again very, very soon. Have a good day.